we have a problem that I mentioned in the last video, and that is that in order for VLANs to communicate with one another, they have to have a router because they're on different networks. And whenever you're on different networks, you have to route from one network to the other. Well, in the traditional method, we would just set up a VLAN 10 line up to this router and then a VLAN 20 line up to this router, and we could come up into the VLAN 10, across the router, and out onto a different network to VLAN 20. Remember that each port on a router is a different network. The other solution is something we call router on a stick. And you can see why. There's only one line going to the router here. So this is interface FA 0.1. But what I've done here is I've set this interface up to have virtual sub-interfaces. FA01.10, FA01.20. This trunk line can carry multiple VLANs because it has the 802.1q tagging protocol set up so that it can carry both VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 traffic. So now we can come up out of VLAN 10 into this interface through FA1.10 and then back out of the interface through FA1.20, and these are completely different subnets, but it works. Now, in order to see this in action, what I'm going to do, if I can get out of here, is go into Packet Tracer, and what you're looking at is our Lab 5-3 already completed and set up and configured that I did here at home. I'm going to turn on simulation mode. This is down here in the bottom right corner. Now, if you use simulation mode, which is a great way to troubleshoot stuff, you'll want to set up filters here, edit filters. And you'll want to turn off everything except ICMP traffic. And that includes over here on miscellaneous. You'll also want to turn off everything over here except ICMP traffic. And unfortunately, there is no quick way to do that. I know, by the way, that I have happened to turn off all the ones that are going to give us trouble. So I am going to ignore the rest of this and just leave it like this. The other thing that we need to do is go to Options and then Preferences, and then over to Miscellaneous and change from Prompt here to Auto Clear Event List. Otherwise, we get a full buffer and it stops us in the mid work here. So now I'm ready to see the simulation of what's going to happen. And I'm going to open PC1 here, and I'm going to ping 172.17.30.23, which is PC3 over here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run the ping, and then click this little play button over here, and we will be able to see what happens. And here comes the ICMP packet out of PC1. You would expect it just to go down to PC3, but that's not what's going to happen because these are on different VLANs, and we cannot communicate with each other. We must go up here through the router. We've now gone into FA 01.10 and out of 1.20, well, in this case 1.30, I think, in this setup, and then back down to PC3. And then you'll see the PC3 send its reply, and there it goes, but it's not going to go to PC1, of course. It is going to go up here to router 0, and then back down to S1, S2, and then back down to PC1. And that will be one cycle of our ping that will be complete at that point. It's not quite there yet. We'll give it a minute. S2, back down to PC1, and there it is. There's our completed cycle. So we can see router on a stick here working by setting up interfaces. And it looks like I did not turn off all of the other protocols. I have STP that's still turned on. I don't want to see STP traffic. Let's turn that one off. If I can find where it is. Where is STP? There it is. There. Let's turn that off and filter it. All right. So that's router on a stick.